Another type of variation is joint variation, which honestly is just a type of direct variation. So it's still multiplication. Um, it can be inverse variation also, but really it's just variation with more than one quantity. So instead of just y and x, we could have x, y, and z. We could have r, x, and y. There's more than just those two variables there, is really what happens. So it gives you two examples. Z varies jointly with x and y. So z varies, that word varies is kind of your cue that it's going to be z equals. So z varies jointly with x and y. The a value is always there with x and y. That's here. P varies jointly with q, r, and s. P varies means p equals jointly all multiplication q, r, and s. All there. A is not mentioned. You guys just have to remember that that constant of variation is in every single problem. So let's go ahead and look at our example here. It says the variable z varies jointly with x and y. Okay, so we know z is going to equal, z varies jointly with x and y. So it tells us that z equals negative 75 when x is 3 and y is negative 5. So z varies jointly with a, x, or with x and y. A is just there. So z is negative 75 when the x is 3 and y is negative 5. So that's our first step, is solving for your a. So 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And we'll just divide. Negative 17 divided by negative 15. So a is positive 5. So that's your first step. So write an equation that relates x, y, and z. So using that a value, we have this equation, z equals 5xy. So we can now use that for any equation as long as we know our z, x, and y. So it then says, okay, we'll find z then if x is 2 and y is 6. So we're finding z. We know that a is 5. X is now 2. Y is now 6. So 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 6 is 60. So, multi-step, get A to find the generic or general equation. And then once you have that, it'll give you the second part to find the variable once the x and y are changed. So for number 12, it's just sort of a generic examples. We're not solving anything. We're just trying to write equations. So I'm going to do one with you. I'm going to do letter D. M varies directly with the square of n and inversely with p. So M varies directly with the square of n. So directly with the square of n, inversely with p. Okay, so A, if you want to, you guys can always sort of throw the A in the front, but the A is always going to go on the top of the fraction if you have one. And we do have a fraction here because inversely with P, inversely is divide. So inversely is dividing by P. The square of n squared, and we always just have a. So that would sort of be our generic equation there. The only thing I want you guys to be careful about is making sure that you don't put the square root. If it were to say square root, so like number or letter B, that one is going to be a root. If it just says square or just cube, it's a power. So go ahead and try the remaining letters there. So A, B, C, and E. And number 13 asks you guys to write an equation. I'm just going to get it set up for you. It says the variable z varies jointly with x and y. So we're going to be using the same equation that we used up above. So you're going to use this part first to find a. Once you find a, use that a value to secondly find z again when x and y have changed then. So go ahead and try and finish that page.